Here in front of the Israeli School, Universal Practical Knowledge, the Philadelphia Division. Here at 3226 Cheltenham Avenue in Philadelphia. We're standing in front of the school right now, getting a description of the 12 tribe sign that's been painted by one of the brothers that was in the school. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. Those are the 12 tribes of Israel.
Shalom. Shalom. You've been waiting for this day, so this day has finally come. A lot of you have been wondering where this knowledge that you've been hearing is coming from, and the powerful truth that you've been hearing, how this was established. Well, we finally were able to arrange for the priests to come down from New York and spend some time with us. And I'd like to introduce them if I can. These are some great brothers. We're very glad to have them with us. We want to make them feel as warm as possible because this is their work and the extension of their work and what they've laid down some time ago. I'd like to introduce, first of all, priest and Sixth Shield General, 4th in command in the nation of Israel, Lahab. I'd like to salute this brother. Majo. Barak. Yeshabim, which means sit. And I'm going to turn it over now to Priest General Lahab.
Water, brother. I'd like to say this, starting off, we're very impressed at your school here, and we're very impressed to see that the brothers and sisters in Philadelphia think enough of the Most High and the Bible and the truth and your nationality to be a part of this, because most of the brothers and sisters are running from the truth.
Mic check. Mic check. This is Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya al-Hahariyam, Ma'ayan Yaba'a Isaiah, Ma'aim Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Wa'arataza, Al Yathan Lamawat Regalka, Al Yanawam Shamarka, Hana La'a Yanawam, Wala'a Yayashan Shawamar, Yasher Allah, Yahweh Shamarka, Yahweh Tazalka, Al Yad Yamyanka, Yawamam Hashamash La'a Yakaka, Wayirak Bala Yala Yahweh, Yashamarka Makar Ra Yashamar, Athna Pashka, Yahweh Yashamar Taza Athka, Waba Wa'aka Ma'aitha Wa'id Awalam. In the English, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yasharallah shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. This is Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim, al damayalaka, al thakarash, wa al thashakwat, al kayahana, awayabika, Yahama Yawan, wa mashana yaka nasha'awa, ra'ash al imaka, Ya'arim yamwa, sawad, wa yathaya aitazawa, al tazapawanyaka, amarwa, lakawa wanakakidam, magoya wala'a, yazakar, Sham Yasha Allah, Iwad Kaya Nawa Aitazawa, Lab Yakadwa, Al Yakab Baryath Yakarathwa, Ahahoya, Adawam, Wayashamai Alayam, Mawa Abba, Wahagarium, Gobal, Wa Imawan, Wa Imalak, Palashath, I'm Yeshabia, Tazawar, Gam Ashawar, Nalawa, Imam Hayawa, Zarawai, Labanya Lawat Salah, Aisha Laham Kamadian, Kasayasa Ra'a, Kayabian, Banakol Kwayashwan, Nashamadwa, Ba'ayanda Ara, Hayawa Daman, La Adama, Shayathama, Nadayabmawa, Ka'irab, Wakazabak, Wakatazal, Mana'ai, Kal Nasiyakama, Ashar, Amarwa, Nayarashal Lana Wa'ath, Na'awath, Alahayim, Alahaya, Shayathama, Kagogala, Kakwash, Lapanya Raka, Ka'ash, Thaba'ira Ya'ira, Wakala Haba, Thalahat, Haryam, Kantharadapma, Basa Iraka, Wabasawa Pathka, Thabahalam, Mala'a Panyaham, Kwalawan, Wayabakwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Wayabahowa, Id Id, Wayakaparwa, Waya Abadwa, Wayada Iwa, Kaya Atha, Shamka Yahawa, Labadka, Ayawan, Alkaharataza. What we said in the English, keep not thou silence, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Yasha Allah may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites, of Moab and the Hagarenes, Gobal and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Go ahead and repeat after me, okay? Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them
Do
as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kizon, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb, and like Zeb. Yea, all the princes as Zabah, and as Amunah, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. O Yahweh, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth. This is the blessings prayer in the Hebrew. Barakatha Yahweh wa Yahweh Shai. Wa Maya Aka Allah. Wa Allahayim. Matazab Ya'ah. Alawap Yahana. Ha Alawapim. Ha Saranium. Hakwatazayanyam. Hakaya Yalyam. Waha Akwathian. Yahweh. Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. The water Aman. In the English, we said, bless you, Yahweh. And Yahweh Shai. And Michael. And the angels. Commanding General Yohana. The generals. The captains. The officers. The troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you, so be it. Sar, which means turn. Ashabia, which means to be seated. All right, what's going on, Israel? All right, Salakia for the technical difficulties at the beginning. The sound is good now. Sound is Tawab. We got another Saturday Sabbath service. All right, every Saturday we got a Sabbath service being held from 10 a.m. till 12 p.m. All right, or 12 noon. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. All right, share the class. All right, we're going to get started in just a second. As tradition, we read 7 verses in the Hebrew, and then we'll break down those 7 verses in the English. All right, last week we left off. I'm just finding the verse that we start at. Last week we left off at Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10 and verse 8. So today we're starting at Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 9. And I'll go ahead and get the first 7 verses in the Hebrew. All right. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 10. And starting at verse 9 in the Hebrew. All right. Verse 9 says, Al Khan La'ah Hazah La Loya Kalakwa Wanna call Ha I'm Aka Yawa Yahweh Hawa'ah Nakal Thawa Ka Ashar, Dabar Yahweh Alahayaka Lowa. Verse 10, Wa'an Kaya, Imad Thaya, Bahar, Kayam Yam, Hara'a, Shanyam, Arabayim, Yawam, Wa Arabayim, Laya Laha, Wa Ya Shemai, Yahweh Alahaya, Gam, Baga Bapa'aim, Ha Hawa'a La'a Abba, Yahweh Hasha, Kayathak. Verse 11, Waya Amar Yahweh Alahaya, Kwawam Laka, La Masai, Lapanya Ha'aim, Wayaba Awa, Waya Yara, Shawa, Ath Ha'arataza Ashar, Nashabai, Thaya, La'abatham, Latha, Laham. Verse 12, Wa'aitha Yasha'Allah, Maha Yahweh, Alahayam, Alahayaka, Sha'al, Ma'ain Ka, Kaya Am, Layara'a Ath, Yahweh, Alahayaka, La Lakath, Bakal, Dara Kayawa, Wala'a, Haba, Athwa, Wala Ibad, Ath, Yahweh, Alahayaka, Bakal, La Labaka, Wabakal, Napashka, verse 13, La Shamar Ath, Matazah Watha Yahweh Wa'ath, Kakwa, Thayawa, Ashar, Anakya, Matazah Waka, Har Yawam, La Tawab Laka, verse 14, Hana, La Yahweh Alahayaka, Hasham Yam, Washam Ya, Hasham Yam, Ha Rataza will call Ashar Baha. Verse 15, this is the last verse. Rakah Ba'abath Yakah Kashak Yahweh La'ahaba Awatham Waya Bakar Bazah Ra'aim Akar Yaham Bakam Makal Ha'aim Yam Kayawam Hazah. That's the end of the 7 verses. And we're going to get the next 7 in the English. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10 and verse 9. And it says, Wherefore Levi hath no part nor inheritance with his brethren. The Lord is his inheritance, according as the Lord thy God promised him. Okay, so right now the Most High is speaking about the tribe of Levi, understanding that this tribe had a different inheritance than the rest of the tribes. All right, and it says that the Lord is his inheritance. All right, the Levites were given that special office to do the work of the Lord. All right, to be the priests of the nation of Israel. Verse 10 says, And I stayed in the mount according to the first time, 40 days and 40 nights. All right, verse 10 says, And I stayed in the mount according to the first time, 40 days and 40 nights. And the Lord hearkened unto me at that time also. And I stayed in the mount Salakia, verse 10, and I stayed in the mount according to the first time, 40 days and 40 nights. And the Lord hearkened unto me at that time also. And the Lord would not destroy thee. Verse 11, And the Lord said unto me, Arise, take thy journey before the people, that they may go in and possess the land, which I swear unto their fathers to give unto them. This is something, so heavy, because, many times, Christians, when they talk to us, they'll look at us like we're crazy. You know what I mean? They'll look at us like, you guys are in a cult, you guys are racist, you guys are a hate group, all these different things people say when it comes to the men in the ISUPK. But what they fail to realize is that this is something that was promised to us. Right? Verse 11 said, which I swear unto their fathers to give unto them. Like, there is a promise because of what Abraham did for his seed. And that seed that was counted as a promise was through Isaac, was through Jacob, to the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. This is something that the Most High promised us. Whether you're Black, Hispanic, and Indigenous and you want this blessing or not, it is for you. These promises, this covenant is for you. You were born an Israelite. This pertains to you. This is a promise from the Most High. Verse 12 says, and now, Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee? And this is something that you should ask yourself if you're Black, Hispanic, or Indigenous. Like, I remember I was speaking to a sister the other day, and she's telling me how she doesn't believe in certain things, and, she respects what we do in the ISUPK, but the ISUPK just isn't for her. Well, sis, it is. Because the Lord requires something of you if you are a child of God, if you are an Israelite. If you identify as Black, Hispanic, or Indigenous, most likely you are a descendant of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And because of that, the Lord requires something of you. That's not something you can get out of. It's not something you can debate. It's not something you can argue. I don't care if you're Christian and you think we're racist and we think we're teaching hate because we say God doesn't love everybody. What you're missing is that this is something for the children of Israel. And being a child of Israel, there's something that is required of you. I don't care if you want to be Christian, you are still required by the Most High to do something. And it's telling you right here in this verse. It says, and now, Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee? But to fear the Lord thy God. That's number one. If you're Black, Hispanic, or Indigenous, you should fear the Lord your God. Thy God is possessive. This is the God of Jacob, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And you need to fear him. Fear his punishments. Fear what he's going to do to you if you disobey him. It says, number one, but to fear the Lord thy God. Number two, to walk in all his ways. It means everything that the Lord told you to do, you need to do. You need to walk in all his ways. He gave you a dietary law, you know what I mean? He told you what you can eat, what you can't eat. You need to walk in those ways. He told you how to deal with your brothers, your sisters, your spouse, your children. You know what I mean? Your co-workers, the people of other nations. He told you how to deal with these people. And you're commanded to walk in all his ways. If he gave you a law to keep, you have to keep it. Because if you don't, punishments are coming. That's why he said to fear me, fear the Lord thy God, fear his punishments. It says to walk in all his ways and to love him. How do you love the Most High? To keep his commandments. That's how you love the Most High. You know what I mean? Book of John says, he who says he loves God but hateth his brother is a liar. Meaning another way to love God is you have to love your brother. And you do that by keeping these laws. All these laws tell you how to be social, how to interact with other blacks, Hispanics, and indigenous. That is how you love God. It says, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul. Meaning put the Most High first in everything that you do. When you wake up, think about how you're going to serve the Most High. When you make a decision on the job, think about how you're going to serve the Most High. Anything you do, put the Most High first in everything. That's how you serve him in everything you do. Or that's how you serve him with all your heart and with all your soul. Okay? A heart is another word for your mind. All right? Meaning keep the Lord on your mind at all times. Verse 13 says, to keep the commandments of the Lord and his statutes, which I command thee this day for thy good. Behold, the heaven and the heaven of heavens is the Lord thy God, the earth also, with all that therein is. Everything that the Most High created belongs to him, including us. The heavens, you know what I mean? All the different dimensions on this earth. All right, the Lord created these things, and we need to keep his commandments at all times. Verse 15 says, only the Lord had a delight to thy fathers to love them. And imagine that. That's good news for blacks, Hispanics, and indigenous, that the Most High loves us. We're in a place in 2026 where the entire earth hates blacks, Hispanics, and indigenous. The whole world looks down on us. The whole world is sick of us. The whole world oppresses us. And meanwhile, we have a power on our side that loves us. That is good news. All right, that's the end of the 7 verses. We're going to get back to the Hebrew. This is Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 16 in the Hebrew. Wama latham ath iralath laba bakam wa'ir pakam la'ah thakwa shawa iwa. Verse 17. Kaya Yahweh alahayakam hawa'a alahaya ha alahayam wa adanya ha adanyam ha'al ha ladal. It's like ha gadal ha gabar wahan wara'a ashar la'a yasha'a pan yaham panyam wala'a yakakwa shakad. Verse 18. Aisha ma shapat ya thawam wa alamana wa ahab gora la thatha lawa lakam washam laha. Verse 19. Wa habatham ath hagar kaya garyam haya yatham ba'arataza matazarium. Verse 20. Ath Yahweh alahayaka Thayara'a athwa Tha ibad Wabawa Tha dabak Wabash mawa Tha shabai. Verse 21. Hawa'a thaha lathak Waha wa'a alahayaka ashar aisha Athak ath Hagar Ha gadol tha wa'ath Hana wara'ath Ha'ala Ashar Ra'awa Mayan Yaka. Verse 22. Basha Ba'ai Yama Napash Yorad Wa Abath Yaka Matazar Yama Wa Aitha Shamka, Yahweh, Alahayaka, Kaka, Wakabya, Hashem Yam, Larab. That's the end of the 7 verses. All right, we're going to get it back in the English. This is Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 16 in the English. Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart and be no more stiff-necked. You see, this is a law that was given in the Old Testament. I mean, and Christianity did us such a disservice trying to teach the Bible. I mean, because of Christianity and because of the Spanish Inquisition that went around enforcing Christianity and Catholicism on blacks, Hispanics, and indigenous. You know what I mean? They went around this earth forcing people to be Christian. And in doing so, what they taught on the Bible, you know what I mean? They taught so many lies. And there's so many millions of people that believe those lies because of their forced conversion into Christianity. You know what I mean? Circumcising the foreskin of your heart is something that blacks, Hispanics, and indigenous always did. Okay? To circumcise the foreskin of your heart means to obey the Most High. Okay? You know what I mean? To enter, you could look at it as a spiritual covenant. You know what I mean? When you literally cut the foreskin off of your son, you know what I mean, after a few days of being born, that you do that to show that, you know what I mean, this is a brother who's a part of the nation of Israel. You know what I mean? It was a law given to us. But when you circumcise the foreskin of your heart, it's a spiritual thing. Okay? To spiritually say, I'm going to obey God no matter what. To keep him on your mind in everything you do and to show it in your actions. Okay? Verse 17 says, for the Lord your God is God of gods and Lord of lords, a great God, a mighty and a terrible, which regardeth not persons nor taketh reward. Verse 18, he doth execute the judgment of the fatherless and widow. You see, that's why, you know, many times the Most High is known as the terrible power. People always want to say he's all love, not understanding the Lord is a man of war. The Lord is a terrible power, which is why you need to fear him. He is going to execute judgment, and you need to fear what it is he does. He says, verse 18, he doth execute the judgment of the fatherless and widow, and loveth the stranger in giving him food and raiment. He's not just a terrible power, he's also a loving power. He's also a forgiving power, a merciful power. All of these things are in the law. You know what I mean? To punish, to love, to forgive. You know what I mean? These are different things that are in our laws that represent the Most High's character. It says, verse 19, love ye therefore the stranger, for ye were strangers in the land of Egypt. Verse 20, thou shalt fear the Lord thy God, him shalt thou serve, and to him shalt thou cleave, and swear by his name. He is thy praise, and he is thy God, that hath done for thee these great and terrible things, which thine eyes have seen. You know what I mean? Back then and today, you know what I mean? The children of Israel have always seen what the Lord has done. You know what I mean? If you're not paying attention today, you might think these different things that are happening on the earth are just coincidence. These are great things that we are seeing. All these earthquakes, all these wars and rumors of wars, all these plagues, COVID-19. You know what I mean? These things were prophesied to happen, and they are happening before our eyes. We are living, you know what I mean, living proof that this Bible is real. The Lord said in Deuteronomy 28, so many different curses would befall the children of Israel for disobeying them. And look at the condition of blacks, Hispanics, and indigenous today. We were sold into slavery by ships to our enemy, just like the Lord said would happen. That happened to us. That has not happened to any other race of people. You understand? It has happened to the indigenous. They were the first people on those slave ships being sold over to Portugal and different places in Europe. They were brought all throughout the Caribbean islands, brought down to Brazil, different places in South America. Okay, we were sold to our enemies on ships, just like the Lord said would happen if we disobeyed him. All these things we are seeing with our sight, just like the Israelites of old saw when they saw coming out of Egypt, when they saw all the different things that the Most High did. These are things that we see, that we witness. It says, verse 22, thy fathers went down into Egypt with 70 persons, and now the Lord thy God has made thee as the stars of heaven for multitude. Think about it. You had over 99 million so-called African Americans that were unalive. You had over 77 million natives that were slaughtered. Mass genocide on our people. And regardless of that mass genocide, you see the spirit of us. You see how many babies we make. We are fruitful and multiply, just as the Lord commanded us to do. We do that. We multiply. It's the same thing that happened in Egypt. We were few in number and we multiplied. And that was something that scared Pharaoh. Pharaoh said that we need to do something about these Israelites because they are becoming a great nation. They are multiplying. We are doing that today. I think America just put out some alert saying, that they're finally declining as, the dominant race. You know what I mean? They're not giving birth more times than they're dying. Their race is damn near going to go extinct because of the LGBTQ agenda that they are pushing. They have always been LGBTQ, and they are not producing babies. In Rome, a woman couldn't get a man. They had to make it a law for a man in Rome to get himself a wife because they were not repopulated. They made it law, and watch they make it law again. That's why Ecclesiastica says, paraphrasing, it says, there's no new thing under the sun. History repeats itself because we are the same spirit of people. And you're seeing our spirit rise. You're seeing us be fruitful and multiply. It's not a bad thing for a black man, Hispanic man, and indigenous man to make babies. That is a beautiful thing. Okay? It says that kids are a heritage of the Lord. But we're going to drop that, pick it back up in the Hebrew. This is Deuteronomy chapter 11 and verse 1 in the Hebrew. Wa'ah habath ath Yahweh Alahayaka Washam Ratha Mashah Marathwa Wakar Quatha Yawa Wama Shapat Yawa Wam Tazawath Yawa Kal Hayam Yam, verse 2. Wayadai Thama Ha Yawam Kaya La'a Ath Banya Kam Ashar La'a Yadai Wa Ashar La'a Ra'awa Ath Mawasara Yahweh Alahayakam Ath, Gadol, Wa, Ath, Yadwa, Hakaz, Aqua, Wazar, Iwa, Hanat, Waya, verse 3, Wa'ath, Atha, Thayawa, Wa'ath, Ma'aish, Yawa, Ashar, Aisha, Bathawak, Matazarian, Lapar, Iha, Malak, Matazarian, Walakal, Aratazawa, verse 4, Wa'ashar, Aisha, Laka, Yala, Matazarium, Lasa, Wasa, Yawa, Walara, Kabwa, Ashar, Hataza, Yapa, Ath, Maya, Yama, Sawat, Al, Pan Yahum, Barad Pama, Akar Yakum, Waya'a, Badam, Yahawa Id, Hayawam, Hazar, verse 5, Wa Ashar, Aisha, Lakam, Bamadabar, Id, Ba'akam, Id, Hama, Kwawam, Hazar, verse 6, Wa Ashar, Aisha, La Dathan, Wala'ab, Yaram, Banya, Alahaya Abba, Ban, Ra'awaban, Ashar, Pataza, Thaha, Harataza, Ath, Paya, Watha, Bala'im, Wa'ath, Batha Yaham, Wa'ath, Alahayim, Wa'ath, Kal, Haya, Kwawam, Ashar, Barag, Gal, Yaham, Ba, Kwarab, Kal, Yasha'ala. Verse 7, last verse. Kaya, Ayan, Yakam, Hara'ath, Ath, Kal, Ma, Aisha, Yahweh, Har, Gadol, Ashar, Aisha. That's the end of the 7 verses. We're going to get the next 7 in the English. This is Deuteronomy 11 and verse 1. Therefore thou shalt love. Therefore, and this is a therefore. It says, therefore thou shalt love the Lord thy God, and keep his charge, and his statutes, and his judgments, and his commandments, and his ways. That's the therefore, because you are a Israelite. If you're black, Hispanic, or indigenous, you are a Israelite according to the Bible. All right. And because of that, you are in a covenant with the Most High. This covenant was promised to Abraham and his descendants. And because of everything that the Most High has for you, the promise, the covenant, the giving of the law, the services, all those things, we need to obey him. We need to keep his commandments and his judgments and all his ways. Verse 2 says, and know ye this day, for I speak not with your children, which have not known, and which have not seen the chastisement of the Lord your God, his greatness, his mighty hand, and his stretched out arm. And what we need to do is not be selfish as a people. We need to stop thinking about ourselves when it comes to these laws, statutes, and commandments. We need to think about our children. We need to think about, the entire nation of Israel. You know what I mean? Think about that unborn child who has never seen the punishments of the Most High, who has never seen, a cargo slave ship bringing our ancestors into captivity. Our children have never seen these things. But understand that if we disobey him, that punishment is going to happen to them. It'd be a very selfish thing to eat pork, shrimp, crab, or lobster. Very selfish thing to celebrate your birthday. Very selfish thing not to pay tithes, not to keep these laws, because it affects our nation. Verse 2 says, and know ye this day, or Slakia, verse 3, and his miracles and his acts, which he did in the midst of Egypt, unto Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, and unto all his land, and what he did unto the army of Egypt, unto their horses, and to their chariots, how he made the water of the Red Sea to overflow them, as they pursued after you, and how the Lord hath destroyed them unto this day. Which is crazy, because you can look up and see there's places in Egypt that are still desolate. You know what I mean? That land of Egypt was absolutely destroyed. And there's so many different places on this earth where the Lord has left his mark. Cities just destroyed, making it to be uninhabitable. These are things that we have never seen. You know what I mean? These are stories that we read about. This is why it's so important we keep these laws. Verse 5 says, and what he did unto you in the wilderness until you came into this place, he wiped the nation of Israel out for disobeying him. Tens of thousands of us, when we came out of Egypt, we were still disobeying the Most High God. We were still stubborn and stiff-necked and getting punished, even after everything that we saw inside of Egypt. Even how we saw that he defeated our enemies in front of us, we still disobeyed him. Verse 6 says, and what he did unto Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, the sons of Reuben, how the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their households, and their tents, and all the substance that was in their possession in the midst of all of Israel. You know what I mean? Everything that we've been given is from the Most High. And just as easy as he gives it, he can take it away. When we walk on his side, when we obey these commandments, we're a blessed people. When we disobey, we are going to get punished, just like a disobedient child should. Verse 7 says, but your eyes have seen all the great acts of the Lord, which he did. That's the end of the 7 verses. We're going to get the next 7 in the Hebrew. This is Deuteronomy 11 and verse 8. Washamar thama athkal ha matazah waha ashar anakya matazawak hayawam lama'ain thakaz zakawa waba'atham wayarash thama ath ha-rataza ashar atham ibarium shama larashatha. Verse 9, walama'ain tha'arayak wa yam al ha'adama ashar nashabai yahawa la'abath yakam lathatha laham walazarai mar arataza zabath kalad wa badash. Verse 10, kaya ha'arataza ashar atha ba'a shema larash thaha la'a ka'arataza matazarium hawa'a ashar yataza atham masham ashar thazarai ath zara'ik wahash kwayath bar baragalak kagan hayarak. Verse 11, wa ha'arataza ashar atham ibarium shama larash thaha arataza harayam wabakwa aitha lamatar hasham yam thashatha mayam. Verse 12, arataza ashar Yahweh Alahayaka, Darash Atha, Thamyad, Ayanya Yahweh Alahayaka Baha, Marash Yatha, Hashana Wa'id, Akar Yatha Shana, verse 13, Waha Yaha Am, Shemai, Thasham, Iwa, Al, Matazah Wathya, Ashar, Anakya, Matazah Waha, Athakam, Yahawam, Hayawam, La'ah Haba Ath Yahweh, Allahayakam, Wallah Ibad Wa Bakal, Laba Bakam, Wa Bakal, Napash Kama. Verse 14, last verse. Wanathaya Matar, Arataza Kama Ba'aithwa, Yawa Raha, Wamal, Wawash, Wa'asap Tha, Daganka, Watha Yarak, Watha Yarashka, Waya Tazaha, Raka. That's the end of the 7 verses. Back in the English, this is Deuteronomy chapter 11 and verse 8. Therefore shall ye keep all the commandments which I command you this day. You know what I mean? I tell everybody, Deuteronomy is one of my favorite chapters in this whole Bible because it gives such clear instructions on how we are to live as Blacks, Hispanics, and Indigenous. Not just clear instructions, but it gives us clear warnings from our Father on what He will do if we listen and what He will do if we don't. How to defeat our enemies. You know what I mean? How to defeat this captivity. How to live on this earth. Deuteronomy breaks it down, and it makes it clear to us how important obedience, walking in His ways, and these commandments are to us, our families, our children, this whole nation. These laws, statutes, and commandments are everything. That's what this whole Bible is about. It says, therefore shall ye keep all the commandments which I command you this day, that ye may be strong. And that's what we need inside of this captivity. Blacks, Hispanics, and Indigenous, we need strength. Without these laws, we are weak. We are a defeated people. We're a people with no protection. These laws, statutes, and commandments give us strength. It says that ye may be strong and go in and possess the land whither ye go to possess it. Verse 9, and that ye may prolong your days in the land. You know what I mean? Not only will we be strong, but we will live a long, good life. You see how long our ancestors lived? You got Methuselah living 900 years old. Enoch, you know what I mean? Noah, all these different brothers who lived hundreds of years. They lived a very long life. It says, which the Lord sware unto your fathers to give unto them and to their seed, a land that floweth with milk and honey. You understand? We keep these laws, we will be given a land flowing with milk and honey, a land that is rich and full of resources. You know what I mean? Researchers call our land the Fertile Crescent. It's known as being the Fertile Crescent because it was the most fertile land on this earth. You know what I mean? The beginning of civilization where all the resources flow through the land. That land was promised to our forefathers, promised to us if we obeyed him. Verse 10 says, "For the land whither thou goest in to possess it, it is not as the land of Egypt, from whence ye came out, where thou sowest thy seed and waterest it with thy foot as a garden of herbs," meaning in Egypt we had to work, you know what I mean, for all the vegetation to grow. We had to go out there and water it and work hard. But in our land, those things just grow naturally. You know what I mean? You can look in that land today. You just see all the riches of this earth come from that land. Donald Trump is over there right now. You know what I mean? Fighting for just a small part of our land. You know what I mean? Between those four rivers, that is the whole Middle East. That's what was promised to us. Not just that one little land that they call Palestine or they call Israel today. The whole Middle East was promised to us. You see them down there today, they got damn near Ferraris made out of pure gold. That is a wealth that it is so benign, blacks, Hispanics, and indigenous. It says in verse 11, "But the land whither ye go to possess it, it is a land of hills and valleys, and drinketh water of the rain of heaven." That land that we have just drinks the water that the Most High pours on it. You know what I mean? That is water blessed from the Most High himself to keep that land, just rich of resources and flowing of milk and honey. Verse 12 says, "A land which the Lord thy God careth for." Imagine that. That land the Most High cares for. It says in the Apocrypha, paraphrasing, that his favorite pit is Jerusalem. Pit meaning land. The Lord has a favorite land and a favorite people, and he cares for that land. He loves that land. He takes care of it, waters it from the rain of heaven. That's the land promised to us. It says, verse 12, "A land which the Lord thy God careth for. The eyes of the Lord thy God are always upon it, from the beginning of the year and even unto the end of the year." Imagine that. The Most High doesn't take his eyes off of that land. That's what's promised to us. Verse 13, "And it shall come to pass, if ye shall hearken diligently unto my commandments, which I command you this day, to love the Lord your God, and to serve him with all your heart and with all your soul, that I will give you the rain of your land in his due season, the first rain and the latter rain, that thou mayest gather in thy corn and thy wine and thine oil." It was prophesied that a bastard would dwell in our land. Imagine the Most High is watching that land day and night. He is seeing everything going on there. Imagine how displeased he is knowing that other nations of people are living in our inheritance. And imagine how much better the Most High will take care of that land when his people are there. Just imagine that. He doesn't take his eyes off of that land. These laws, statutes, and commandments are everything. That's the end of the 7 verses. We're going to pick the next 7 up in the Hebrew. Let's see where we're at. We're reading to chapter 12 and 3. All right, this is Deuteronomy 11. And we're at verse 15. It says, "Wanath Thayah Aishab Ba Shadak Labaha Mathak wa akal tha, wa shabai tha, verse 16. Hasham rawa lakam pan yapatha laba bakam wasar thama wa ibad wa ibadtham alahayim akarium wahash thaka wayatham laham, verse 17. Wakara apa Yahweh bakam wa itazar ath hasham yam wala yaha matar waha'a dama la'a thathan ath yabawala wa abad thama mahara ma'al ha'arataza ha-taba ashar Yahweh nathan lakam, verse 18. Washam matham ath the bar ya Allah al laba bakam wa al napash kama wa kwashar thama atham la awath al yadakam wa ha yawa lata wa top tha banya ayan yakam, verse 19. Wa lamad thama atham ath ban yakam la dabar bama ba shabath ka ba bayath ka wa bal kathak ba darak wa bash kabak wa bakwa wa mak, verse 20. Wa kath batham al mazar wazar watha bayathak wa ba wa bashai rayak, verse 21. Lama'ain yarabwa yam yakam wa yam ya banya kama al ha'adam ashar nashabai Yahweh la'abath yakam la thatha laham kayam ya yasham yam al ha'arataza, verse 22. Last verse. Kaya shamar tha shamar wana ath kal ha mataza waha hazaath ashar anakya mataza waha athakam la aish thaha la ahaba ath Yahweh alahayakam la katha la lakath bakal darak yawa walad bakwa bawa. That's the end of the 7 verses. We're going to get the next 7 in the English. Deuteronomy 11 and verse 16. Take heed to yourselves that your heart be not deceived, and ye turn aside and serve other gods and worship them. This is something that we need to do. We need to take heed. What does take heed mean? It means to keep guard, to observe, to give heed. Okay? To properly to hedge. Okay, that means to protect. Protect yourself. Take heed to yourselves. Be on guard. Beware. That your heart be not deceived. We need to make sure that we don't, let somebody, what's the word? We don't let somebody persuade us to serve other gods. That you don't let your cousin persuade you to celebrate your birthday. That you let your wife to persuade you to celebrate Thanksgiving. That you let, some girl you fall in love with persuade you to stop following your God. That's what you need to be aware of, to take heed to yourself of, not to listen to these other nations of what they have to offer, but to stay true and keep our laws, statutes, and commandments, our culture, our way of life. This is what we need to be on guard for. That ye turn aside and serve other gods and worship them. Verse 17. And then the Lord's wrath be kindled against you, because that's what will happen if you let somebody convince you to serve another God. That you let somebody convince you that it's okay to smoke weed. You let somebody convince you that it's okay to be a Christian, that it's okay to vote for the next president. Don't be deceived by these things, because if you do this, the Lord's anger will be kindled. It says that in the Lord's wrath be kindled against you, and that he shut up the heaven, and there be no rain, and that the land yield not her fruit, unless ye perish quickly from off the good land which the Lord giveth you. And that was a warning to the children of Israel. When you get in this land flowing of milk and honey, the Lord is saying, I will stop the rain from coming out of heaven, and your land will be destroyed. You will get no water. You will get no rain. Your crops will not yield any fruit. They will all be destroyed and perish if you go and serve other gods. You know what I mean? That is not a threat. That is something that will happen. We are living proof of that. Verse 18 says, therefore shall ye lay up these my words in your sight and in your soul, and bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they may be as frontlets between your eyes. Right? This is what Revelations was speaking about. Not to worship the beast, not to, what does it say? Not to take in the mark in your foreheads or in your arms. Right? What is that mark? That's, a sign of what it is you do, your actions, who you believe in and who you worship, who you work for. You know what I mean? The Most High said to work for him, to always keep the Most High on your mind, to always do the work of the Lord in all your actions. Everybody can see what it is you do. That's what this is speaking about. Verse 19. And ye shall teach them and ye shall teach them your children, speaking of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. We should be teaching these laws, statutes, and commandments to our kids. Verse 20. And thou shalt write them upon the doorposts of thine house and upon thy gates. I remember when I put that verse in Joshua that says, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. You know what I mean? I printed that off on a piece of paper and taped that to the outside of my door. And when people would come and knock on my door, I would look through that little peephole and I would see them reading that verse. Because I was letting people know that this is a place that's dedicated to the Most High. This is a house dedicated to the Lord. And when you step in this place, you are going to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. You know what I mean? I remember damn near banning somebody from my house because they brought marshmallows into my house. You have to be mindful of these things. You know what I mean? Don't bring that pork shit inside of my house. Don't bring anything unlawful inside of my house. That's how important these laws, statutes, and commandments are. Most High said to put these on your doorposts. And I'm not telling brothers that you have to literally, go and put something on your doorpost, but it's just to understand the spirit that inside of your house is a place that serves the Most High. And don't let any foul shit inside of your house. You know what I mean? Be mindful, who you keep company with, who your friends are. Christ said that I came to bring division, to set a mother against her daughter-in-law, a man against a son against his father. Christ came to bring division because that division separates people who obey him and people who don't. And understand, when you obey the Most High, there's going to be a group of people that also obey the Most High. That's who you allow in your house. You see what I'm saying? That's the spirit of this law. And thou shalt write them upon the doorposts of thine house and upon thy gates. Verse 21 says that your days may be multiplied, and the days of your children in the land which the Lord sware unto your fathers to give them, as the days of heaven upon the earth. That's how important this thing right here is. That these laws are. When you write that on your doorpost saying that, this place serves God. You come to a Israelite school of universal practical knowledge, you know what I mean? You're going to see signs all over. In Detroit, we got signs all over the windows. You know what I mean? It says black only, black history, black love. You know what I mean? This place is marked. The whole neighborhood can recognize this place. And in this place, we keep the laws. And it's so important that the Lord said, we'll read that one more time. It says, verse 21, that your days be multiplied and the days of your children, right? Which is why I was saying earlier, not to be selfish. These laws, statutes, and commandments protect your children. These laws, statutes, and commandments prolong your life. You know what I mean? It's a very selfish and evil thing to sit there and smoke weed every day and kill yourself. And all your loved ones have to sit and watch you die. You can't be selfish with these laws, statutes, and commandments. Dedicate your house to the Most High. Dedicate everything you do to the Most High. That way you can protect yourself, your kids, your family, and your nation. It says that your days may be multiplied and the days of your children in the land which the Lord sware unto your fathers to give them, as the days of heaven upon the earth. There's no getting out of this covenant, black man, Hispanic man, indigenous man. This was promised to Abraham. Don't care if you want to identify as white. I don't care if you want to try to hide amongst the other nations, try to be a Christian and a Muslim. This is a covenant between you and the Most High. There's no getting out of it. You obey him and live, or you disobey him and die. That's the life of blacks, Hispanics, and indigenous. Verse 23 says, then will the Lord drive out all these nations from before you, and ye shall possess greater nations and mightier than yourselves. And this is how you defeat the white man. This verse right here is telling you, black man, how to defeat your enemies. You can't pick up a pistol, you know what I mean, and go to war against a white man. He is going to drop a nuke, drop a bomb on your house. This nation is greater and mightier than you. This nation has the greatest military might the world has ever seen. There is no defeating this white man on your own. You want to defeat this man, you need the Most High on your side. You look up how many Europeans died from the Black Plague. It's listed around 70 million. It might have been 50 million or 70 million Europeans were damn near brought to extinction from a plague. That is how you destroy your oppressor. You had 77 million natives unalived by your oppressor because of his military might and his strength. He damn near weaponized the buffalo. You know, he weaponized smallpox. The white man will weaponize anything. And he did it and he destroyed us. You want that same power to defeat your enemy, send the Black Plague after white people. Get in the ISUPK and pray that these plagues destroy your enemy. That is a power that this world cannot contend with. Just look at what COVID did. COVID shut the white man's kingdom down. People still recovering from the goddamn COVID. That is how you defeat your oppressor. You get the Most High on your side. It says, then will the Lord drive out all these nations from before you, and ye shall possess greater nations and mightier than yourself. Verse 24. Every place whereon the soles of your feet shall tread shall be yours. From the wilderness and Lebanon, from the rivers, the river Euphrates, even unto the uttermost sea, shall your coast be. And that's what I was saying. That small land called Israel, that is just a small part of our inheritance. They're sitting there fighting over some small piece of land in Palestine. That is a very small part of your inheritance. Our inheritance is from the Tigris River to the Euphrates River, you know what I mean, and that whole land in the Middle East. That will be ours if we keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's the end of the 7 verses. I'm going to pick it back up in the Hebrew. This is Deuteronomy chapter 11, and we're at verse 25. La'ah, Yatha, Thatazab, Ayash, Bapan Yakam, Pakad, Kama, Wama, Wara'ah, Kama, Yathan, Yahweh, Alahayakam, Al, Panya, Kal, Ha'arataza, Ashar, Thada, Rakwa, Baha, Ka'ashar, Dabar, Lakam. Verse 26. Ra'aha, Anakya, Nathan, Lapan Yakam, Yahawam, Yawam, Baraka, Wakwal, Laha. Verse 27. Af, Habar, Kaha, Ashar, Thasham, Thashamai, Wa, Al, Matazar, Watha, Yahweh, Alahayakam, Ashar, Anakya, Matazar, Waha, Athakam, Ha Yawam. Verse 28. Verse 28. Wahakwal, Laha, Amma, La'ah, Thasham, Iwa, Al, Matazar, Watha, Yahweh, Alahayakam, Wasar, Thama, Manah, Hadarak, Ashar, Anakya, Matazar, Waha, Athakam, Hayawam, La Lakath, Akarya, Alahayam, Akaryam, Ashar, La'ah, Yadai, Thama. Verse 29. Waha Yaha, Kaya, Yabaya'ak, Yahweh, Alahayaka, Al, Ha'arataza, Ashar, Atha, Ba'a, Shema, Larash, Thaha, Wanath, Thaha, Ath, Habarak, Ha, Al, Hara, Gara, Zayam, Wa'ath, Hakwal, Laha, Al, Hara, Ayabal. Verse 30. Hala'ah, Hama, Ba, Ibar, Hayaradan, Akarya, Darak, Mabawa'ah, Hasham, Ha Shamash, Ba'arataza, Ha Kana'ain Ya, Ha Yashab, Ba'irab, Mawal, Hagal, Gala, Atazal, Alawanya, Mara'ah. Verse 31. Kaya Atham, Ibaryam Ath, Hayaradan, Hayaradan, Laba'ah, Larash, Tha'ath, Ha'arataza, Ashar, Yahweh, Alahayakum, Nathan, Lakam, Wayarash, Thama, Atha, Wayashab, Thama, Baha. Verse 32. Verse 32, last verse. Washam, Ratham, La'aish, Watha, Ath, Kal, Haka, Kwayam, Wa'ath, Hamash, Patyam, Ashar, Anakya, Nathan, Lapanya, Kam, Hayawam. That's the end of the 7 verses. I'm going to pick it back up in the English. This is Deuteronomy 11 and verse 25. There shall no man be able to stand before you, for the Lord your God shall lay the fear of you and the dread of you upon all the land that ye shall tread upon, as he hath said unto you. That's heavy right there. That no man shall be able to stand before you. That is power, black man, Hispanic man, indigenous man. That is a power we have never seen. We have only seen these curses. You know what I mean? Our time here in North and South Central America, we haven't had the Lord, fighting for us, defeating our enemies. This is something that we need, where no man can stand before us. 26 says, behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse. That is what blacks, Hispanics, and indigenous need to understand. That free will nonsense that, we learned from the Spanish Inquisition, from forced baptism, forced Christianity. What they taught us is not in the Bible. We're reading right here that he says, behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse. You got to pick, black man. You want to be blessed or cursed? Which one is it? You got 2 options. You can write on your doorpost that you obey the Most High and that this is a house that serves God. You can write these laws, statutes, and commandments in your heart and in your mind and keep them. Teach your kids. Be all about the Most High in this Bible. These laws are culture. Or be cursed. Stay in hell. Stay in your wickedness. Stay destroyed as a people. Keep watching your enemies gun you down. Keep watching more George Floyds, more Trayvon Martins. Keep watching that. Pick one, black man. Blessing or a curse. Verse 27 says, a blessing if ye obey the commandments. That's how you get blessed, black man. It's obedience. A blessing if ye obey the commandments of the Lord, your God, which I command you this day. Verse 28, and a curse if ye not obey the commandments of the Lord. It's that simple. You keep eating pork, you keep smoking cigarettes, you keep celebrating your birthday and Thanksgiving and Christmas. You keep being a good Christian and following Martin Luther King. You are going to stay cursed. It says, and a curse if you will not obey the commandments of the Lord your God, but turn aside out of the way which I command you this day, to go after other gods which ye have not known. And it shall come to pass when the Lord thy God hath brought thee in unto the land, whither thou goest to possess it, that thou shalt put up the blessing upon Mount Gerizim, and the curse upon Mount Ebal. Verse 30, Are they not on the other side of Jordan? Are they not on the other side Jordan, by the way where the sun goeth down, in the land of the Canaanites, which dwell in the champaign against Gilgal, beside the plains of Moreh? For ye shall pass over a Jordan to go in to possess the land which the Lord your God giveth you, and ye shall possess it and dwell therein. A memory to blacks, Hispanics, or indigenous. That's what we need. That's something I tell my children. Set a reminder for yourself. You know what I mean? If I tell my sons, if somebody is bothering you, go to your brother, go into a room with just him and him alone, tell him that you do not like what he's doing. And if your brother does not apologize or say Salakia or hears you, come and tell me. And you need to, I don't care if you have to write it down 500 times to get this in your head that this is how we behave ourselves. This is how we conduct ourselves. Set a reminder for yourself, because there's too much at stake for disobeying this law. There's too much bad that is going to happen for not following this lifestyle. We have to be tired of, more Carmelo Anthonys, more black lynchings, more hell. We have to be tired of these things. And if that means you set a reminder everywhere that you go, set yourself a reminder. Christ said if your right arm, causes you to fall, cut your goddamn arm off. You can't stop, going after other brothers' wives. Cut your goddamn eyes out, because this thing is too heavy of a cost. These curses are too painful. The punishment is too unbearable. Set a reminder for yourself so that you keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. Verse 32 says, and ye shall observe to do all the statutes and judgments which I set before you this day. I believe that was the end of the 7 verses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. But with that said, that's the end of the Saturday Sabbath service. We're going to close out. All right, we're going to do the prayers. Lucky, I'm just getting this incense lit back up. Hey, do me a favor, turn that fan off for me. You got to get this smoke going while we give our prayers up. All right, there we go. Again, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Men of Israel, I'm Majim, which means stand. La'ah Yasha'Allah, which means to Israel. Sarpanya, which means to turn and face the east. This is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwatha, Thaba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nathanlanao, Lacham, Kal, Yawam, Wasalaklanao, Kaabathnao, Kasalaklanao, Kaabathnao, Wala'ah, Thabayanao, Banasayawan, Abal, Hawashayanao, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwath, Waha'ala, Wahatha Pa'arath, Laiwalamyum, Aman. In the English, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. This is the Hakak prayer in the Hebrew. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Baba Kashah. Nathan Lanao. Hakak. Hakak. Larapa'ah. Kal Makalah. Wakal Nadawa. Hakak. Watahar. Hamatazarium. Hakak. Lahakwayum. Hamathium. Hakak. Al Rakawath. Hatama'ala. Lagarshan. Ba'ashim Yahushai. Thawada Aman. What we said in the English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Please give us the power. The power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you, so be it. It's a bless Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Barak Lanawa. Wayasha'ala. Wahabayath. Saparian. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Thawada Aman. In the English, we said Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Bless us and Israel and the school. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you, so be it. So Psalms 121. Asha'ah. Ayanya. Al Hahariam. Ma'ayan. Yaba'ah. Isaiah. Ma'aim. Yahweh. Aisha. Shamayam. Wa'arataza. Al Yathan. Lamawat. Regalka. Al Yanawam. Shamarka. Hana. La'ah. Yanawam. Wala'ah. Yayashan. Shawamar. Yasha'ala. Yahweh. Shamarka. Yahweh. Tazalka. Al Yad. Yamyanka. Yawamam. Hashamash. La'ah. Yakaka. Wayarak. Bala Yala. Yahweh. Yashamarka. Makal Rai. Yashamar. Athnapashka. Yahweh. Yashamar. Taza'athka. Wabawa'aka. Ma'aitha. Wa'aid Awalam. What we said in the English, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yasha'Allah shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
My right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee
Yahweh shall preserve thee
from all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
That preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in.
from this time forth
From this time forward
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore.
You guys don't have to repeat this. Elohim, al damayalaka, al thakarash, wa al thashakwat, al kayahana, awayabyaka, yahama yawan, wa mashana yaka, nasha'awa, ra'ash, al imaka, ya'arm yamwa, sawad, wa ya thayaitazawa, al tazapawanyaka, amorwa, lakawa, wanakakidam, magoya, wala'a yazakar, sham yasha'ala, Iwad kaya nawa aitazawa. Lab yakadwa al yaka baryath yakarathwa. Ahahalya adawam wa yashamai alayam. Mawa aba wa hagariam. Gabal wa imawan wa imalak palashath. I'm Yashabia. Tazawar. Gam Ashawar. Nalawa imam hayawa. Zarawai labanya lawat salah. Aisha laham kamadian. Kasiyasa ra'a, Kayabian, Banakal Kwayashwan, Nashamadwa, Ba'ayanda Ara, Hayawa, Daman La Adama, Shayathama, Nadiyamawa, Ka'ira, Wakazaba, Wakazabak, Wakatazal, Mana'ai, Kal Nasiakama, Ashar, Amora, Nayarasha, Lanawa Ath, Na'awath, Alahayam, Alahaya, Shayathama, Kagogala Kakwash, Lapanya Raka Ka'ash, Thaba Ira Ya'ira, Wakalaba, Falahat, Haryam Kantharadatma, Basa Iraka, Wabasa Wapathka, Thaba Halam, Mala'a Panyaham, Kwalawan, Wayabakwashwa, Shamka Yahawa, Yabashwa, Wayabahawa, Ida Id, Wayakaparwa, Wayabadwa, Wayadaiwa, Kaya Atha Shamka, Yahawa, Labadka, Alyawan, Alkaha Rataza. What we said in the English, keep not thou silence, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites, of Moab and the Hagarenes, Gabal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah, do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kizon, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth, make their nobles like Oreb and like Zeb, yea, all their princes as Zebah and as Zalmunna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. O Yahweh, make them like a wheel, as a stubble before the wind, as a fire burneth a wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Yahweh. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone, art the most high over all the earth. You guys can repeat this one if you want. Barakatha Yahweh wa Yahweh Shai.
Barakatha Yahweh wa Yahweh Shai.
Wa Maya Aka Allah.
Maya
Wa Alahayim.
wa Hayim.
Matazab Ya'ah.
Matazah
Alawap Yahana. Ha Alawapium. Hasaranyam. Hakwatazayanyam. Hakaya Yalyam. Waha Kwathian. Yahweh. Ba'ashim Yahushua. For water Aman. What we said in the English is bless you Yahweh. And Yahushua. And Michael. And the angels. Commanding General Yohana. The generals. The captains. The officers. The troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you, so be it. Don't repeat this one. All right, this is the curses prayer. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth and all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, listen to us now, right now. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction and death to the heathens that speak against us, thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction and death to the heathen, and shake loose the pockets of the rich of Israel that refuse to give to the school. Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction and death to the Edomites and the nations and their drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, posse comitazi, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA space programs, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street. Open up the internet and the airways, the cable access channels, and the radio channels. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us, and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way, or try to stop us from broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the terrorists, cause them to go to and fro through the earth and destroy. Cause the terrorists to come against America and destroy them in their strongholds. Let America shake at the hands of the terrorists. Let Yahushua, Michael, and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and kill all the heathen that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all that it is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread throughout the media, throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahushua, thank you always, so be it. Sar, which means to turn. All right, we're going to close out the class. Men of Israel, Imajim. Imajim Shabbat. Imajim Barak. Yahweh Shim Yahushua Barakatham. Yad Yamatah. Sar, turn and face all the sisters. Princess, you hold your arms like this. All right. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat. Imajim Barak. Yahweh Shamar Alatha Ba'ashim Yahushua. Yad Yamatah, which means hands down. Class dismissed.
I listened to the whole entire class.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one west.